I've generated over 1,000 videos across every major AI model to answer one specific question. What are actually the best AI video generators to use in 2026? And today, you are getting an ultimate ranking of the top generators based on my results. First, we're going to test them with a universal prompt, so you have a clear reference point on how each model performs given the same instructions. Then, we will look at the specific results made to the unique strengths of each individual model, because picking a model based on a Twitter post instead of a detailed breakdown is the fastest way to waste your time and money on an underperforming model. We're starting with the most realistic and complex model available, but also the most expensive one, Sora 2 by OpenAI. The point of this model is to give you a video that looks like it was actually filmed with a real camera in a physical world, while actually being made by AI. This is exactly why it costs so much. So without spending more time, let's test it out. The platform I'm going to be using to test out all of the video generators today is called OpenArt. You can follow along using the link to it down in the description below. Once you are inside, we're going to head over to video and then text to video. Here, I will paste in my universal prompt. It is a combination of a fun and interesting video that will showcase the realism, the world interpretation, and other things like textures, lighting, and smoothness. This allows us to get a full picture of how each model performs with the exact same instructions. I'm going to paste it inside the prompt field and select Sora 2 in the settings. I'm going to go ahead and select the Pro model and the highest resolution. We'll go with 12 seconds, make sure the aspect ratio is cinema, and click create. Here is the result.
There she be, the stool of destiny.
It honestly looks amazing, which is the whole point with this model. The only detail it missed was the swinging doors, which should be the starting point of the video. It is made to produce such good results, but it also comes at a price. This costs 3,000 credits if you are using OpenArt, which is just insane compared to some other models. I'll show you some models later on that give you results that are almost just as good, but at a fraction of the price. But next up, let's test it out with a more specific prompt. This one is going to be tailored all around the interpretation of the world and the trends in real life. I am asking for a vlog style video about a winter date in New York City. I'm going to go ahead and paste in this prompt and keep the settings the same. And here is the result.
Blushy morning in the city. I'm at Broome and Lafayette right now, and check this out. Big puddle from last night's melt. Oh, and there goes a cab. Yep, totally soaked the can. Steam still coming up from the manhole. Classic winter New York.
You can clearly see that the vlog style was translated perfectly. The video is not only looking exceptionally good, it almost translates to that Casey Neistat feel that you get from his videos. It's insane to get that specific of an aesthetic from an AI, but there is one more use case with Sora 2 that most people oversee completely, and that is the image to video section, especially combining it with a product. So let's jump over to image. For the product image, I have this pair of headsets laying down on a table. In the prompt, I am asking it to have a Gen Z influencer naturally style the headphones in a UGC and friendly style. I want it to look like it was filmed on an iPhone and posted as a short form video online with a natural selling point. I'm gonna make sure that I have the highest settings selected and click generate. Here is the result. It looks super realistic, but just take a listen at what he is saying.
Okay, so these are the new headphones I've been hyped about. Let me show you real quick. Slip them on. Instant quiet. Like the world just fades out. You tap right here, boom, noise canceling kicks in, and it's wild how much it blocks out.
The way he actually sells these headphones makes it look like the AI received a ton of information on them without actually having any context. It highlights some of the cool technical features as well as the design. The overall ad feels like it was actually filmed by this dude just now, which is insane. This is a game changer for creators who want professional ads without hiring a full production crew. But do you remember what I mentioned about the model that can deliver results really close to this, but at a fraction of the price? Well, that fraction is actually just 400 credits per 10-second video. That model is the one that has established itself in the AI video generator space for a while now. It is called Kling 2.6. Now, Kling is a Chinese-made AI video generator made by a company called Kuaishu. You should think about it as the best one-pass AI video generator for content creation or social media posts. It is the ultimate all-in-one tool for people who don't want to spend tons of money on high-quality generations, but want to be able to test things quickly. This is huge because it allows you to iterate on your ideas faster than anyone else without burning through your entire budget. So let us run it with our universal prompt first. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to text and select Kling 2.6 as my model. I will select the maximum duration, keep the audio on, and go ahead and generate.
Well, what else? What have we here?
One of the key things about Kling is that it has more saturated colors and a bit more of a fast-paced feel, but overall, it is just really good, especially for the money you are paying for it. The details are 100% there, the audio quality is solid, and overall, this is a super well done video. But let's test it out even more with some prompts that fit Kling a little better. Since this model is rated for realism, but is also really good at both animated and stylized videos, let's try something specific. I'm gonna go with a close-up of a female pilot in a pretty interesting setting, a small plane cockpit during a heavy thunderstorm. Let's test out how this model handles the environment and how well it makes the movements. I'm gonna paste in the prompt and click generate.
Mayday, mayday. Tower, I've lost my secondary nav. Requesting immediate vector for landing.
It sounds very natural, exactly how I would imagine it being in an actual cockpit during a storm. Overall, this is a surprising result for a model that is this cheap and so versatile in various different styles. Finally, I'm going to go with something a little more useful, which is an ad. I'm going to use this image of a joyful grandmother holding a plate of chocolate chip cookies. For the prompt, I am writing that she holds the plate directly at the camera with a warm, winking smile. I'll click create, and honestly, it comes off looking really well.
Oh, I think I outdid myself this time.
This is great because it allows you to create high converting ads without the cost of a real production crew or actors. Now, there is a generator that is going to give us way better realism, and we will come back to that in just a second. You definitely want to stick around for that, but this result is really good and could work perfectly as an ad for a new cookie brand. Although this generator manages to combine low cost with high quality results, there is one more generator in the same lane as Kling, but this one adds one secret feature that makes it so much cooler to use, and it is called WAN 2.6. The feature I am talking about is the multi-shot prompting capability. This is a game changer because it allows you to direct multiple camera angles and scenes within a single generation. Before we take a look at that, we have to check out the universal prompt. I am pasting it in, and here is the result. I can clearly see that, in my opinion, it lacks a little bit compared to the first two models. It is just not as good as the others, the colors are a bit too bland, and they don't feel as realistic. But you definitely want to stay tuned for the final generator, because that one will honestly surprise you in terms of realism. But let's come back to that multi-shot capability of WAN 2.6. I'm going to paste in this prompt, and you can see that I have my shots distinctly split into 3 different ones. This will compile a little heist scene that I have decided on. I'm going to select the maximum settings, make sure I select multi, and click generate. Here is the result.
It's time to go. Just like old times. Let's see what this thing can do.
In terms of pure quality and realism, it might not be the absolute best, but the switches between the shots are really well done. The accuracy of the prompt is impressive. I want to say that WAN 2.6 is one of those models leading the way in director-level AI video generators. It's a really fun model to play around with when you want that much control over the outcome, but it is also just as good at creating something really weird, which is another reason why I like using it. I have an image of a 50s retro-futuristic diner that is floating in mid-space. For this one, I want to create an action where a UFO flies by the window and stares inside. I'll keep the settings as high as they can be, but for the shot type, I'm going with single. WAN 2.6 can be a little picky when you are doing multi-shot videos with images, so just keep that in mind. I'm still including instructions inside the prompt, so it can do some shot changes for us. Let's click create and take a look. And it actually looks really good. It did take on a bit of a stylized look, probably because of the Unreal environment, but overall, I really love the video. In my opinion, WAN 2.6 is a really nice in-between model for when your idea is a bit more solidified. It's perfect for when you know exactly what shots need to take place while keeping the cost low at just 525 credits for multi-shot capabilities. With that being said, there is a model that is on its own in terms of speed. This is the absolute best model to use if you have a ton of ideas that need testing. But don't think that just because you are getting a faster model, you're going to lose out on quality. This model is extremely good at complex movements, especially hard things like dancing. It actually has an incredibly cool feature, which is its advanced skeletal tracking. This prevents the noodle limb glitch effect that is often seen in other AI generators where the body just falls apart. The model is called Seedance 1.5 Pro, and let's test it out with our universal prompt. I'm going to go ahead and paste it in. Here, you will see a slider for the time that you want. Let's go with 12 seconds for this one. By the way, The more seconds you choose, the higher the cost will be. I'm going to go with the highest resolution available and keep the audio on. Then we're going to go ahead and click create, and let's take a look at the result. Here, you can definitely see that the higher speed and lower cost hurt the visual quality a bit. But I have to say that the movement is, as I've already mentioned, incredibly good. Overall, I'd say that the textures and everything are really well done. It is not as good as Sora 2 or the next model, but it is still very usable. This is especially true for that idea testing phase where you need to see if a concept works without spending a fortune. But now, let's go a little bit deeper and give it to a martial artist performing a complex movement sequence. I have this prompt prepared for that right here. I'm gonna go ahead and paste it in, but for the time being, I'm actually gonna go a little bit lower. Here is a secret tip for you. Usually, when a model has a possibility to select the time, the lower you go, the more the model will focus on the time you have given it. Therefore, it will give you a much better result in terms of pure quality. So I'm going with 8 seconds right here, keeping the audio on, and clicking create. I just want to say that this is a really impressive result. The quality of the movement is, as I promised, top tier. Not only that, but the material and the fabric of the clothing that the martial artist is wearing is also really well done. This is something you sometimes don't even get with a model like Kling. Nevertheless, let's now test out the prompt I was really waiting for. This one is going to use both a starting and an end frame. This is really cool because by selecting a start and an end frame, you have a ton more control over the final video. For this one, I'm going to select this starting frame of a person standing still. Then, I'll select this final frame of him in a weird position, as if he's performing a high intensity dance. I'm going to piece both of the images together and paste my prompt. Now let's go ahead and select the highest settings. For this one, I think I'm going with 8 seconds so that we can see the full dance and see how far we can take the movement. Click generate and let's take a look. Yet again, the movement is incredible. The speed is also really good for a video that is 8 seconds long with both a starting and an end frame. It only took a little over 100 seconds to generate. This is really good compared to some other models. For example, the image to video result with Juan took me over 500 seconds to create. That means Seedance is 5 times faster, showing you how quickly this model produces results without losing too much on quality. But when talking about quality, you cannot forget the next model. It is the model made by the biggest company in the AI sphere. It is one of the most professional and technical models out there. It is incredibly good with anything that has to do with cinematography and specific camera control. It is Google Veo 3.1. So let's go ahead and switch over to that and immediately test it out with our universal prompt. In OpenArt, there is one important setting that you always have to be aware of, the video mode. Whenever you are generating, you have to make sure you have the normal mode selected. Even if it might seem controversial, it's actually the highest quality mode out there. It is not normal by any means. It is much better than fast. So I'm going to make sure normal is selected, go with the highest resolution, and keep the version Veo 3.1 on, which is the highest available right now. Let's click create, and here is the result.
Easy now, lads. The sea is a bit rough in here today.
This is exactly what I mentioned. The model is really high quality. If we compare that to Sora, as you can see on the screen right now, it is in many areas just as good. Especially with the audio, there's just something Google is doing that makes it feel a lot more realistic than Sora 2. Mind you, this comes at half the price of Sora 2. So if you're looking for that best balance of realism and price, in my opinion, Veo 3.1 is the one to go with. But that being said, let's go ahead and test it out with camera control. For this one, I have a dolly shot. It's going to be a professional shot of a skateboarder in an urban park. As you can see in the prompt, I'm giving it wide instructions. Wide angle, dolly in. This ensures the camera movement is exactly as I want. I'll paste that in, click create, and let's look at the result. Here, we can clearly see it included all of the instructions. We see the high quality generation, and the skateboarder's realism is really well done. There are absolutely no problems with his motion. Everything looks premium. This is honestly what you're paying for. This model is made by the best company in AI currently, and that is exactly why it's giving us these results. But you can also go a lot deeper with this model, especially if you have an image to start with. Now let's go ahead and insert both a starting and an end frame. For our starting frame, I have this shot of a cluttered, dark, messy office. The end shot is a bright and modern studio. What I'm going to show you here is the transitions. I personally think that Google VO 3.1 is the best model for creating transitions. If you're a creator looking for a better transition from thumbnail to video, or if you're creating ads to hook the attention of the viewer, this is by far the best tool for the job. I'll insert my prompt, hit the highest settings, and here is the result. In my opinion, the transition came out really fun. The way it cleans up and the lighting shifts really works well. I think the duration of only 4 seconds also helps create this fast, action-based video. That 4-second transition is proof that the gap between human and AI has officially vanished. But knowing about those models won't help you if you're still wasting money on 5 subscriptions and switching tabs. You need a single professional dashboard that puts Sora, VO, and Kling at your fingertips. Hit the first link in the description to start generating these exact cinematic results inside OpenArt right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.